Hi, this is Sam. We're going to watch... What movie are we watching?
Miss Peregrines. I can't pronounce it.
A pretty new movie.
Yeah.
Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which came out this year. It's still playing in theaters. Mostly in Morgantown.
Why in Morgantown?
That's where it's playing. It's a 2016 British-American dark fantasy film directed by Tim Burton. Stars Eva Green, Terrence Stamp, love him, Samuel Jackson, Judi Dench. It was filmed in London and Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
Received mixed to positive reviews from critics, and has grossed $224 million over $110 million budget, so it did pretty well.
I feel like it's going to be another one of those where the trailer was just so good. And,
Yeah.
Or I love it.
You might love it.
Which happens sometimes.
Yeah. There's some controversy about this film.
Why?
Because, well, mostly just a bunch of friends on my my Facebook page.
Yeah.
So Tim Burton says he doesn't put black people in his movies because they don't occur in his stories.
Yeah.
So, they're just not into it. This really feels like, very much like, X-Men, kind of. Like, the same thing. Oh, I didn't even realize that movie was out.
What?
This movie was, in the top spots for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the third week was dethroned by Inferno. I didn't realize that movie had come out yet.
What's Inferno?
The movie with Tom Hanks.
Oh.
Yeah, when did that come out? That was overseas. It comes out here. It's already out overseas, October 28th here. Yeah. Yeah. But, it's made some money. Yeah. So there's the peculiars, the non-peculiars, the whites. They hunt peculiars for their abilities, devouring their eyes upon capture to recover human form. Yeah. Allison Janney is also in it. She plays a disguise for the whites. Rupert Everett is in it. Yeah, he was in Cemetery Man. Del Morte. Oh. There are... Oh, yes. Yes.
He sings, "The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup,
Yeah.
say a little prayer for you, forever and ever." You remember when that happened?
And what?
My best friend's wedding. It's the biggest scene of the whole movie.
No, I've never seen that movie.
And everybody made a big frickin' deal about it when it came out.
I've never seen that movie.
I'm going to show it to you right now.
No, I don't ever want to see. Who's my least favorite actress ever?
She's really not in it, though. In this part.
Who? Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
She's my least favorite actress. This movie is 2 hours and 7 minutes long.
You ready?
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, skip ahead.
Oh my gosh!
I hope they have the...
What did she say? The moment I wake up. Oh. And before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. While combing my hair now, while wondering what dress to wear now, I say a little prayer for you. Forever and ever, you save my heart, and I will love you forever and ever. You never will know how I love you together. Forever, that's how it must be to live without you. Would only need heartbreak for me.
Like, you see a guy with lobster hands in the back in a minute?
Is it the lobster from that other movie?
Yes.
Just take time, and all through my coffee break time, I say a little prayer for you. Forever and ever, you stay in my heart, and I will love you forever and ever. We never were part, oh how I love you together. Forever, that's how it must be to live without you. Will only be heartbreak for me. Darling, believe me, for me there is no one but you. Please love me true. Answer his prayer. I'm in love with you. Answer his prayer now, baby. Answer my prayer, baby. Answer his prayer. Say you love me too. You stay in my heart, and I will love you forever and ever. We never will part, oh how I love you together. Forever and ever, need to live without you. Would only be heartbreak for me.
Has your life been forever changed now?
So this movie's about a bunch of kids that live in a school.
Hey!
I don't like Julia Roberts. I don't like when she is made happy in movies. I'm just kidding. I remember vaguely that movie. Maybe I grew up at the wrong time for Julia Roberts. What do you think? We're on a podcast, baby. You can't just shake your head. So tell me a little bit about this movie.
I don't know about it. We didn't watch it yet.
Well, what do you know about it?
It's the school.
Uh-huh.
Weird kids go there and she protects them.
Oh,
That's all I know.
okay. Tim Burton directed it.
Yes.
Danny Elfman did not do the music for it. Scheduling conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to say how we got this movie. I'm going to say that I acquired it. Somehow. It
It's
fell.
got several hands.
It fell onto my computer.
From Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus got it for us.
You know those piracy commercials with the techno music from the 90s? That bow, wah-na-na-na, bow, bow-na-na. It's like, it's not a victimless crime.
There was no victim.
What's his name is my victim. I've made Tim Burton my victim. I'll ring him on the phone now. Hello, Tim.
Timmy.
Yes, Sam. You're a victim.
Boom.
Boom. I've seen all your movies. Boom. This one's for big eyes. Boom. And I slammed the phone down. I downloaded that too. Boom.
Uh-oh.
I'm downloading every movie you make from here on out unless you make Ed Wood 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you're the only person that wants to see that. I'm not. There's others. I want Mars Attacks 2. I want him to never make another... He made the first one. He also made that abortive Marky Mark Planet of the Apes that has the dumbest ending ever.
Why?
Because at the end of it, he goes to another world. Right? He goes back home, and General Ursus got there before him. And General Ursus is on the, on the Lincoln Memorial. It has his head. It's just like, okay, so... But there's other humans there. And do they worship General Ursus? Is he immortal? It raises too many questions. It's like a shock ending. The original Planet of the Apes has the best ending ever. Yeah. Seriously, when I was a little kid, I would just think about it all the time, how great the ending of Planet of the Apes is. Almost as good as the next one when they blow up a nuke and everybody dies. Oh, Planet of the Apes. Third one's coming out of the new ones. Yeah. I haven't seen any of them.
No.
I like that they're making them, though.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to watch them.
Why?
Because every time I sit down and watch a movie, my wife says, let's watch this Steve Guttenberg movie.
Is that better?
Yeah. All right, so we're going to start Mrs. Peregrine's School for Anemic Wonders. We'll be back and we'll tell you about it. And maybe you should watch it. Tell us how you feel at bnsaboutmovies.podomatic.com or on a YouTube link or bnsaboutmovies@gmail.com. Or if you found us via Facebook, where a lot of you do, just leave a message.
And if you write us an email, I'll send you another poem.
Yeah, Becca has poems for you. So, all right, we're gonna start the movie right now.
Show starts in 10 minutes. What is it?
Say,
What is it?
hey, why it's Buttercup. Popcorn, add sweet green butter to hot popcorn. Mix it up, wrap it up, Buttercup is born.
It's delicious.
So nutritious,
It's a taste delight.
It's so munchy,
crisp and crunchy.
you'll enjoy each bite. Eat butter-drenched Buttercup, popcorn at its best.
Served in a king-size cup.
It beats all the rest.
All right, we're back. Hopefully, everybody listening to this podcast watched Mrs. Peregrine's School for.
Home for Peculiar Children.
Yeah, hopefully everybody watched it. Tell me what you thought of the movie.
I liked it.
What did you like about it?
I was happier than your typical Tim Burton movie.
It didn't seem like a Tim Burton movie.
I could see parts of it, but
It felt like, well, I think a lot of not having Danny Elfman do the music.
and
That-
not
that-
having
yeah.
what's her name in it, even though what's her name looks just like her.
Yeah, but that techno-y kind of music was kind of weird in that scene where they fought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But,
What did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. My baby wouldn't watch an X-Men movie, but it's pretty much an X-Men movie. They're pretty much the X-Men. It's a school founded by an older person
I like
that
it
protects
for-
them, takes care of them.
That's fun.
Yeah. Judi Dench was in it.
Uh-huh.
The children were Jake.
Mm-hmm.
He protects the children. He can see the hollows.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Bloom, who is an aerokinetic teenager who can manipulate air and create bubbles underwater.
Mm-hmm.
There was Enoch, who can resurrect the dead and bring to life inanimate objects.
Mm-hmm.
Olive, who is pyrokinetic. Millard, who's invisible. Bronwyn, who is super strong. Fiona, who can control and maintain plants.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh, who has bees in his stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Claire, who has sharp teeth behind her head. Horace, who can project his dreams through his monocle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the twins are Gorgons.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Where does it say that?
right there, the twin mess boys are also Gorgons, who also keep most of the time their peculiarities secret.
They turn somebody into stone, though, and they look like snakes.
Yeah, and Bronwyn, who was the super strong girl, had a brother
Mm-hmm.
who was killed by a hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Mr. Barron was a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Gleason, Miss Edwards, Mr. Clark, and Mr. Archer.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I thought it was pretty interesting. Florence and the Machine
Yes.
did the music for it
Yeah.
at the end. This came out July 31st. Oh, no, March 4th, 2016. March 30th, 2016 was the day. It was delayed several times.
It didn't come out till just the summer.
Yeah. It was delayed a couple different times.
Mm-hmm.
But it did somewhat decent. It actually did something that a lot of movies don't do.
Yeah.
When it was out in other countries, it went up its other weekends. It's the
What do you
biggest
mean?
it went up 21%. Most movies drop.
Oh.
It hasn't even opened anywhere else in the world. It's open in Italy. It opens in December. China at some point, and won't open in Japan till February 2017.
Why so long?
I don't know. Usually movies now release all around the same day. But my favorite part of the movie was I really liked the skeleton army part.
Yeah.
I thought that part was really cool. It was a bit confusing in parts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this was my favorite Tim Burton movie.
I like it better than some of
What's your favorite Tim Burton movie then?
I like Nightmare Before Christmas and the first Alice he did.
I'll go through some of the movies he did.
And
Do you know what the first music video he ever directed are?
What?
He did Bones from The Killers
Yeah.
from Sam's Town.
Yeah.
How about that? He's done 2 videos for The Killers.
Yeah. What other one?
Yeah, I just said he did a second music video, and he had Winona Ryder in it. So here's some of his movies, and we'll see what you think of them. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Great. Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Ed Wood.
Never saw it.
Oh my god, baby, it's the greatest movie ever. It seriously is. It's his. I think it's his finest work. Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow. No? Planet of the Apes. Big Fish.
Yeah.
I watched it on an airplane and I cried in front of everybody.
Yeah, you did.
Charlie and the
You
Chocolate.
cried a minute ago.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes and no.
Corpse Bride.
Never saw it.
Sweeney Todd.
Never saw it.
Alice in Wonderland.
Liked it.
Dark Shadows.
Yes.
Frankenweenie.
Never saw it.
Big Eyes.
Yes.
And then Miss Peregrine.
Yes.
Yeah. What else was he involved in? I'll tell you. He has 2 children with Helena Bonham Carter.
What are their names?
They're Bill Raymond
Yeah.
and Nell. Johnny Depp is a godfather. They are broken up now. Amicably broke up. Tim Burton's favorite movies? Do you know what they are?
No.
Dracula AD 1972, a great movie. The Wicker Man, the original. Golden Voyage of Sinbad, The War of the Gargantuas, which is also great. And The Omega Man with Vincent Price. He was also, he was married one other time to a German-born artist.
Yeah.
And then he was in a relationship with Lisa Marie for like 9 years.
Marie Presley?
Lisa Marie, the actress. She was in Ed Wood and Mars Attacks. She auctioned off all the stuff that he had ever given to her in 2005. He almost did Maleficent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he almost did a 3D stop-motion animation version of The Addams Family. His next movie will be Dumbo.
No, I'm to ruin that.
A live-action Dumbo. He produced Alice Through the Looking Glass. He produced Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Let me see. He worked on the movie 9. Have you ever seen that? He also worked on Superman Lives, which is a movie that never came out, that would have had Nicolas Cage as Superman. He did helped with James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah.
Cabin Boy. He produced it. He was originally supposed to direct the film, but instead did Ed Wood. The reception of the film is mixed, including Chris Elliott winning a Razzie for Worst New Star. You know what? Those people don't know jack shit, because I've watched Cabin Boy maybe 600 times. He wrote and produced, but did not direct The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Batman was the big movie that really brought him to a lot of people's attention. The first movie he did was Frankenweenie. And then he also did a movie, a short. He was a Disney animator. He worked on Fox and the Hound, The Black Cauldron, and Tron. On concept art, which rarely made it into the finished films, but he did a movie called Vincent, where a little boy fantasizes that he is Vincent Price. Tim Burton was a huge Vincent Price fan. Yeah. He was born in Burbank, California. He made stop motion movies when he was a kid. So, that's a little bit about Tim Burton. He's made a lot of interesting movies, I think. This was one of them.
Yeah.
I think this one amongst his movies, I think it was decent. I don't think it was great. What would you give this movie?
A B-.
Yeah, I was thinking around there. I think you should watch X-Men.
You showed me one of them.
Which one?
Wasn't what's the one we watched?
Deadpool?
Yeah, that.
Maybe he's really not in the X-Men.
He's friends.
No, he's an enemy of them.
Oh.
Kinda, sorta. I say that, but you know what? You should just watch the X-Men cartoon with me. You shouldn't watch the movies. They're not good. The second one's good of the original series. Like, the X-Men Final Stand, the third one, is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Though, I did work on a commercial with the second unit director. Yeah. But when we went out before the shoot,
Yeah.
they were talking about movies, and he was like, someone saying, "Oh, I just took my kids to see the last Hunger Games." And he said, "Yeah," he goes, I heard the Hunger Games were ripped off of another movie, but no one's ever been able to tell me about it. And like all of a sudden I got quiet and Quaz is like, "Come here." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "What movie is the Hunger Games ripped off from?" And I'm like, "Battle Royal." And he goes, "How did you know that movie?" And then Quaz like, "Talk to Sam for 2 minutes about movies." And then this director had never seen any Jodorowsky movies, so I told him about Holy Mountain. He's like, "How old's this movie?" And I'm like, "It's from 1972.
Yeah.
And then he watched a clip on his phone and it blew his mind.
Yeah.
So I like presenting people with new movies.
We should just take you to Hollywood.
What would I do? I would sit with Jodorowsky and say, "Jodorowsky, tell me about the time you met the girl that could blow out candles with her vajay." That she explained to you about how the famous Russian mystics said that the world changed. Please tell me about it, Jodorowsky. Tell me about how you wanted to make a movie that was LSD on film, and you wanted people to freak out in theaters when Holy Mountain came out. And then you decided that you're going to make Dune, even though you never read Dune and refused to read it, and wanted to make a 24-hour-long version of it. And then I would just sit at Jodorowsky's feet. I think that would be... Actually, can I tell you something for the podcast? It's kind of deep. Do you want me to tell you for the podcast? Yeah. Come here. I want to come closer so I can tell you. Oh. I was out in our kitchen. So, a little backstory about Becca and my life. I'll let you in a little bit. Before Becca lived here in this house with me, it was a house. It was not a home. My kitchen was gross. There was carpeting in the kitchen.
Be carpeting in rooms and stuff.
The shelves were hanging off. And they were in disrepair. It was very gross to go in there. The stove did not work that well. The burners did, but the stove itself didn't work, so I resolved to never cook with the stove. Yeah. I had an old white microwave that was gross. And the sink leaked, and there was a hole into the garage. Have I set it up enough for the fans? No. I walked out in there, and I was just getting something. I don't know what I was getting. And I looked around, and I had a moment of pure bliss. And I was like, I can't believe that this is my home. And I can't believe that I live here. And I can't believe how lucky I am. And most often in my life, I'm a downer. And most often in my life, I'm like, ugh, I hate everything. Nothing's good as it could be. But things were really good in that moment.
Yeah.
So I want to share that with you, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Because it was a wonderful moment.
You're welcome.
And you brought it to me.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty nice. We had a movie night this weekend. we watched Halloween 2 and some of Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. It was cold out. People weren't ready. People told me, I got texts today and emails today thanking me for the party. People said, I can't believe how crazy that trailer is for Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Is the movie that good?
Yes.
My answer, the movie is better than the trailer. Very few times does that happen in your life.
Yes.
Grumpier Old Men's getting put away. Did you enjoy Grumpier Old Men? When
Yes.
we do a podcast about Grumpier Old Men?
No, I heard you.
Do you think our dog could be in that movie?
He is. He's Walter Mazzo.
I would also like to report, in case people were wondering, are we going to run out of movies?
No.
The answer is no. We just got a bunch of new movies. Do you have a suggestion for us to listen to a movie? You should mail it to us.
Yes.
You should say, Sam and Becca, I want you to watch Dread. And we'll have to say, okay.
We already
I
own
say,
it.
Becca, somebody wants us to watch Dread.
They're not my friends.
They want us to watch Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone and Dredd, the sequel one. And they want us to compare and contrast.
Yeah.
That's what they want us to do. Okay. Well, it's time to say goodnight.
Good night.
So wait, if you want to reach us, how do people reach us?
Through the mail.
What's the mail? What email are we?
Mail it to the White House.
Mail it to B&S About Movies at gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can find us at B&S About Movies at Podomatic.com. You can search for us at B&S About Movies on iTunes. You can look for us on YouTube. You can listen to our other podcasts, People vs. O.J. Simpson vs. Me, starting with another episode pretty soon, or our Murder She Wrote podcast, or you can just reply on Facebook. That's a lot of ways to reach us. And if you remember, if you send us an email, Becca will give you a poem. That's it for me, Becca.
We'll see you at the movies.